Hello everyone. Well, today I have my next 4 tags to share with you. Now these are part of the 52 tag challenge that I'm participating in, where we were to make a tag a week for the 52 weeks of the year. It's being hosted by Anne Brooke, and her YouTube channel is Anne Brooke Textile Artist, and I'll leave a link to her channel in the description box below. Okay, so these are my 4 tags for the weeks 17, 18, 19 and 20. And I'll show them to you one by one. Okay, so the first tag was a couching stitch, and it's used to hold the fabric in place. So I just chose 4 different fabrics or items, and I'll show you what I used. The first one was just some beige fabric. Then I used this multicolored wool. Then I used some pink chiffon, and then lastly I used some of this lace fabric. So I'll just cut those strips of those 4 items, and you roll them up into a roll and you use the couching stitch to hold them in place. And I've just laid 4, then I've just repeated that pattern all the way to the top of my tag. And I've just used a different strand of embroidery or different colour strand of embroidery thread on each different roll. So that's week 17. Then week 18 was to make teeny tiny hexagons and they are really tiny. So what I did with that was, well, Anne asked us to do the paper piercing method, which I just couldn't get on with. I just found it so fiddly, and it just about drove me crazy. But it was more or less like you have your little hexagon piece of paper, and you cut your fabric the same shape as the hexagon, just larger, and then you had to fold in one side, and then you fold in the next side, and then you put a little stitch there in that corner. Then you keep doing that all the way around until they're all just stitched in those corners. And then when you're finished, you had to try and get that piece of paper out. I couldn't do it. I just got a bit of arthritis in my fingers, and it just was impossible. But that was okay, because Anne said that you could, if you couldn't manage it, just do it your own way. So I did. So I've used 5 different fabrics for mine. So I've used this one. Then I used that one. Then they're all beige. And that one. And there was this one here. Okay, so on the base I've used this one, and then I've just made my little hexagons, and then I've sewn them all together with teeny tiny stitches. So there's 3 here, 2, 3, 2, 3 and 2. And then I've just used a running stitch over the top just to give it that sort of quilted look. Okay, so that was week 18. So week 19 was to use some words or text of some sort, or quote, but to use it on layers of fabric. So I've used some, what did I use there? I think that's just calico, which I've frayed, and I've just used some embroidery thread to write the word forever. So then you lift that up to have another piece of fabric, which I've frayed all the edges on there as well. And then when you lift that up, it says grateful. So it's forever grateful. And that's calico here as well, and I've just frayed those edges and just added some little flowers on the side. So that's that one. That's week 19. And then week 20 was a Pekingese stitch, which is and to use contrasting colours when you did the stitch. That's right. So it's basically 2 stitches. So firstly, it's just a basic back stitch, and then you use a contrasting coloured thread to make a loopy type of stitch. So what I did first was I've put some lace fabric down here on the base of my tag. Then I've got a bit of plain fabric down the centre here. I don't know why I did that, because it didn't really matter. Then I've just done my peking stitch on either side. using 2 different colours, and then I've just used that same colour as a running stitch up the centre, and then I've just added a bit of lace at the bottom. So that was week 20. So there they are. Okay, so I can see if I can get them on here. It's getting quite full now, but hopefully I can get another 6 on there. I should be able to get another 6. And then that'll make 26. Then I'll have to start another one with 26 to make the 52 weeks. Unless I can find a bigger ring, and then I'll put them all on there together. But I don't mind if they're on 2. So there they are. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.